Okay, so I replaced the headlight switch here out of my other truck, which is running and everything works. I'm trying to get the dash lights to work, and I'm pulling out the dash lights on the switch, and as you can see, so I'm able to turn the knob. See how I can improve the lighting right there. So when I come back over here, the ashtray light, let me turn the light on. The ashtray light is not on right there. I'll pull that out. See if I can get that out real quick. Okay, there you go. Let me see this bulb right there. Come on, baby, come on out. Come on, I got some money. Okay, got the little bracket out. There's the bulb. Let me take that out real quick. And the bulb. And the bulb is a 1445. Let me put that up in the magnetic bowl I got up there. I recommend everyone have 2, 3, or 5 of them. We don't do screws, especially for dash chrome screws from the 60s. Okay, let's go to the drawers of wonder. My old bolt bin, I got. And no, I didn't set this up on a tripod because every time I do that, then I'm going to knock it over. So I'll go back into the truck. Okay. Get this in there. Give me 1 second. We slip the bulb in there. Of course, I'll have to hook it to ground somewhere. Push this in. Come on, baby, go in there. Slide in, slide this bulb in. Of course, I should have put some dielectric grease on it first, but this is the test. Okay, give me a second here. Throw this back in there. Okay, that bulb is too big to go in there, but let me test it on ground. Let me see if the light's on. Okay, where the hell it go? That bulb don't work. Okay, let me get another bulb. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Now, on the light that I just put in there and took out, it was broken. That's why it didn't work. And when I push this little bracket up against ground, I get no light whatsoever. So I'm thinking that's due to erosion. And I'm going to take my GoPro, right here my son got me, and I'm going to go ahead and take the ground that's on there. See if that helps. Okay, there you go. It comes on. Just let it out real quick. And the GoPro ground makes the light come on. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the right bulb in there, and that will have the cigarette lighter light come on. Turn the lights off real quick. And then I will switch over to the heater lights. And I do not know if it has a glove box light. That's it for now, and I'll get back to you. I did find a couple of miscellaneous things in the back. I'll let you see. There's plugs on some of these, like right there. Plugs back there. I guess somebody was installing some fog lights down here, down below. And some things got unplugged. So it's worthwhile to double check everything, track it down. What does it take? A couple of minutes. So just to let you know, I took the cigarette lighter mounting brackets out. The copper section that screws in is just in fine condition. The cigarette lighter works. Inside's a little corrosion there. And on the outside here, where it would screw in and make the ground right there, that is corroded up with aluminum. I'm going to take some, do I have it? Some fine stainless steel wool. I'm going to buff this thing out real quick. And then on the back side of here, I'm going to take some coarse sandpaper with my finger and a little thing there, or maybe even a file around there too. Clean that up real good. Test it all, then I'll reassemble it. Okay, so I got the sandpaper. I'm going to go back where the cigarette lighter was. Okay. Just cooperate with me, please. You see all the rust, well, whatever's back there. Get that cleaned up real good. I also brought a file out here, which I'm going to go ahead and clean up the edges right here just a little bit, just a little, just a quickie. A couple shiny spots. Okay, so I have the bulb that I had dropped earlier in the garage. I thought I broke it, but I didn't. So let me put this all back together, and I'll be back to you in a minute. Just to go to show you the parts that are going to go back there to hold the cigarette light in place. Right there, there's two little slots right there. It's where the cigarette lighter light mounts in there. That's the grounding right there. You can see I cleaned those up real nice shiny metal. And at the end there, I took a file and cleaned that up. And on this union and the copper right there, I wire brushed everything thoroughly and took a little bit of a file and cleaned up the edges to get a little shiny spots. So we'll see how it goes. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the new light bulb in there, and as you can see the shiny in there, I dielectric greased everything. I closed up the little gap there on the cigarette lighter plug right there, and I put a dab of anti-seize up there. Oh, thank you. And when I did take it apart, there was an old remnants of a white grease, I guess white lithium they installed decades ago. And everything like that. Come on, baby, slide on. Okay, that's in. So now you see the two slots right there on the, okay, let me get a little bit of light there. Those two slots on the cigarette lighter right there, they correspond with these two little fins that stick out on your light right there. So you have to put it in there and you'll have to squeeze it so it'll expand in that little hole right there. Oh, look, the light came on. How cool. Perfect. Okay, come on, babies. Get one side in, squeeze it, slip the other one in there. Close the door, turn out the light, and there's your light right there. So you death stick smokers will find the light lighter. I wonder if there's a light in the ashtray. I'll check that. But the next one is going to do the heater controls. There's probably one or two bulbs over there. I'll look it up in the book real quick. I want to go over why the dash lights never did work on this truck when I got hold of it, right? So we have this unit here. You can see with a rheostat there. It's going to turn. Let me lock that down somehow. It's going to turn back and forth, right? Oh, let's see right there. Back and forth. But right inside there is a little spring. You can barely see it. It's in there. It's a copper color. It was broken, so it wasn't given enough tension for this to be pushed out. So you push it in, and it goes in and out, right, for your rheostat. So then the springs on the other unit I had, there, that spring, the rheostat spring to set the brightness of your lights, was broken. So here's the one I took out. Of course, I had a variety of different parts to take things apart and scavenge it all back together. That broke and screwed everything up. So when I took it all apart, I didn't videotape it, but I had a similar one from a 93 Ford Bronco, and everything was about the exact same thing, and that was the end of the issue there. But I want to show you one little thing. That one little tab right there, you can see in there, that little copper tab, that when you push it, see how it flips up? It goes click in place. That is what controls your dome light. And on all these new ones, they just break off like they're junk, nothing there. This is probably an aftermarket product. This is an old school one. Has an auto light, has a Ford part number on it. That's the one I took out of an older truck I had. Of course it works still, because made in America. And I have another backup one here, made in America. So you know it's post 1966. And anytime you go to the junkyard, harvest things like this. So it costs you $2-3. These are $44 and up. And $69 for the better ones, like the OEM types. Auto lights, motorcraft like that. Okay, so I'm putting the headlight switch back in place. This is an old file, everything fits right there. I got my headlight bezel right there. So oh thank you, dropped it. So the retaining bolt, screw, what do you want to call it? That's what they look like. They're like $14, you buy them new. This one got stripped out from using screwdrivers and pushing it around. So I took it, I flattened up the edges a little bit, and with a cutoff wheel, 045 dimensions, I cut new grooves in there. So now, the screwdriver I have, that I've had since the 70s, I don't know who makes this, and that will fit right into the grooves. Let's see if I can get that for you. That'll fit right in there. I don't know if you can see that there. And that way it eliminates my problem. You can buy a little $14 item off LMC or, you know, National Park Depot, and you can use that to put it in. So I'm going to install this real quick, and then we'll go ahead and put the dash back in temporarily, because I'm still working on a speedometer. I'm going to be making a video on how to modify an existing cord that's been destroyed, install a new cord, and see if I can make it work. So just go to show you that the wide blade screwdriver I have fit right in there just perfectly. Tightened it up just fine. There. Tightened it up just fine. That's all in. I used anti-seize on the threads. I'm getting ready to put the plunger back in to pull in and out. I put dielectric grease on this so I can get it out next time easily. Come on, baby. Go in there. Okay, you can see right there. So I reinstalled the light switch. Everything's in there, clicks in and out properly, this and that. The bolt I put in there, I made sure that had a little anti-seize on there, wiped off any excess, this and that. So that's in there nice now. Everything operates. See that cigarette lighter just brightly turn on and turn down the dimming switch on it. Bright as hell. Let me put this all back in. And then I will make the truck dark and we'll turn on the dash lights. Okay, we got the dash lights in. The dash is back in temporarily until I do the speedometer cable. Boom, boom, boom. Darkened up the truck with a tarp. One pump. Change them out with some LED bulbs eventually. I'm gonna take a look, take out I guess you could take out the glove box cardboard section in there and change out the heater lights. And I don't know what to do about the radio. I got 3 or 4 of them I didn't want no one to know about. I got stashed. They're OEMs, so we'll see what we can do. We're saving that for the other cab. This is my 69 F350 with a 360 in it. Had it for many decades already. Choke a little bit. Start fired up every time. And yes, all the dash lights, heater lights, all that stuff here works in this truck. That's since the 80s. Okay, we'll come back to this. Let me adjust the choke a little bit. Yes, it does sound good. So today, I went ahead and took these out of my donor truck there. and twisting the knobs, getting everything back in shape. I got the real metal ones. I'm going to paint those out. But as you can see, it turns on the dome light up there. And the ones I took out are all falling apart and rusted out. Little dielectric grease. I'm going to be twisting this around and make this work a little better. But I am also going to start. I did all the dash lights on that side over there. They all work. The cigarette lighter works. And now I'm going to cure the problem with the heater control knob lights. I'll clean this out, whatever. But someone had installed this radio here, and then I found inside there all the wires were cut, so they installed it and never finished it. So it's just right there, loose for show and tell. So I'm going to pull this out, pull this original mounting bracket in there, which is nice to have. I got a couple extra storage. Pull this out. There's 2 bulbs in there. I'll pull them out. I know what they are, but I'm going to pull them out and verify what bulb they are. Go down and get the new bulbs, put them in there, and we'll see where it all lights up. And I did take a look in here, and there was no glove box light in here, original. So, yeah, there's no sensor for the light. What's that? That's a bumper, and that's a spring right there. Okay, nothing else to do with that. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and remove the radio. Seems like they just got 2 screws, and oh, there's no screws, nothing. See if I can just push this back in there. Or are there screws? No, I don't see nothing. Okay, well, I don't want to destroy nothing. So there's 2 Phillips screws in there. Screwdriver out. Of course, I'm always ready for my Leatherman power. Okay. And I always have a magnetic little bowl you can get at local mechanic stores, whatever, tool stores, whatever. Like $3-4. I've always bought all mine over at Harbor Freight. So I got like maybe 10 of them. So there's probably one on the dash right now. There's one on the dash right now because I'm not done with the speedometer cable. I have all the parts. I'm going to make a videotape on correcting an old one and see if I can make it put together with parts. Screws into the magnetic bowl. See if I can pull this out all the way. Okay, come on, baby. Okay, that came off. Okay, oh, there was knobs right there. I should have known that. But in my '69 Ford, it came originally, it's the model 81, never came with the radio. And there was another, my son has another 1974 that I put a radio in there, and I put a speaker into the dash. So I have a variety of radios that I accumulated since like '74. Of older trucks like this. I'll have to ask him if he wants me to install an OEM AM radio into here. Come on, baby. Take that off real quick. And the ventilation hose. Heater hose to the defrost. Take this out. I will put it on the workbench and see if it works before doing anything else. And I don't believe I see a speaker in there. Let me double check that real quick. See, center dash. Yes, there's no speaker. So I had bought the speaker that had a stereo in there, a 1-piece speaker, 2 speakers, and one shoots that way, one shoots that direction, and that was pretty nice. Let's see if I can get that back out of another truck. Let's slap that in here. Now we do have that 74 in the upper yard there, that air conditioning fully optioned out. Okay, so what do we got here? Look inside there. I did this about 69 years ago. And what is that? That's not OEM. Okay. I don't see nothing with the wire. Here's the wire right here. Okay, so that's the heater control knob. Okay, that's the antenna right there. See that? Can't remember exactly how that goes. Okay, so I will probably have to take this unit out. Screw there. A screw there. 2 screws. Okay. Let's get the screws out there and we come forward. Think about that. So I don't see where the lights are. I can't remember. Okay, one. Is that the bulb? Okay, that's a bulb. So let me go and match that bulb up. Go down to the store, buy 2. Or go back to the cave, my 1938 tugboat, bolt bend Wonder. So every goddamn light bulb in there you could ever think of. This is a 1445. I'll just go buy 2. They're only like $1.50, but I'll check it with my resistor gun first. See if that's going to work. And I'm assuming now the lights are probably, I don't know. Be back. So here I am. I'm going to test the bulb that I took out the 1972 Ford F100 4-wheel drive out of the heater control panel right there. Turning on my ohm meter. Maybe I'll prop it up a little bit so you can see better. What do I got there? So it's propped up. You can see that pretty good. So I'm going to test my leads. It should go down to like what's doing right there. So I'm going to take the bulb in my hand. I'm going to put my bulb there. And I'm going to put the probe onto the ground part of it. And if it stays 1, the bulb is no good. If it changes numbers to less, it's a good bulb. So obviously it didn't come on when I had it in the dash. And you can see this area right here are flattened out pretty good. And there's nothing there. So now I'm going to go down and get a couple new ones. Be right back. And when I come back, I'll take a new one in my hand and I'll test it again. In fact, let me grab another one out of my bolt bin. In actuality, I could put this one in right here. It's a lot brighter. But let me go ahead and put positive there. And you can see the gauge right there again. And it's gonna stay, let's see. I have to assume this bulb is bad too. I'm gonna get another one. This time I will be grabbing an 1157. I know it's good. I have a package. So, put the red here. Put the black onto one of the bottoms. There you go. See how I switched? I know that one section of the bulb there is 1157, so it's going to be 2 sections. And we go to the second section. Here's the first section again. That's the first section. Going to the second section. The bulb is good. It's 1157. So these 2 bulbs over here are no good. Let me go down and get 2 new ones. Be right back. Okay, back from the store. Took the light bulb down, matched it right up there. Got a good guy. It's a 3J 1445 bulb. So I'm going to test it with my ohm meter. Set to 2000. Put the positive right there. And as you can see, it got the 1 up there reading right now. Let me test my meter right now. When you connect them, boom. Changes down to 0.001, 0000. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one I put on here. It could be positive or negative. One goes there on the grounding side, and this is going to go to the positive side, going to the filament on the inside. And boom. Now that shows the bulb is good. Now let me grab another one over here that I pulled out from my bolt bin. And that, see. Okay, when I tested it earlier, it showed bad, but now it's good, which is good. I was wrong. I'm not shy to say I screw up every day. My wife reminds me of it about an hour. So here's an 1157 right out of the package. Go to one of the prongs. Showing the unit is good. Going to the next one. Showing that the bulb is good. There. I'm going to shut this down here and relocate back out to the truck. And before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take the heating control unit out from the dash so I can look at the servicing of it. I will go ahead and lubricate all the mechanisms and everything running back and forth. That way it makes it worthwhile. Why just change a bulb when you can go in there and lubricate everything, and then it hasn't been touched since 1972. Okay, I'm back here on the light repair on the heater control unit panel insert. I got a light behind there. And we're going to go inside here. You can see these are the two retaining setups in here. They're 11/32 nuts. I loosened them up before that. Let me take these out real quick. Of course, not the last bit of a pin. Come on, baby. Okay, that one won't come out. Okay. Take it right on over here. Do it in a magnetic bowl. Take my little ratchet I have set up for that. Back in there. I was going to spray it with WD-40, but I didn't want it dripping everywhere. Even though we all know we're going to be changing out this whole truck cab in the future. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, yeah, just cut the hell out of my fingers. Okay. Right over in there. Goes there. Out of the way. As you can see, I've brought a variety of tools out, especially the Leatherman. Get this over here in the background. Set this back up. Okay, remember this has never been out, so it's going to be a little bit of a wonder how to do it. Okay, no, came right out. Okay, so it tells me I'd have to take some of this other stuff out there. So there, I got this one right here. I don't know why it happened here. What goes on here. Okay, so there's a quadrant back there. Loosen that up. Okay, I got the bulb. And is there a second bulb in there? Okay, I'll see it. Okay, so I'm going to insert the bulb in here. Turn on the interior lights, adjust the brightness up and down. Then I gotta locate where this plugs in down, wherever it plugs in, and put it back in. So if I do not have to take the whole assembly, I won't take it out. But I will be oiling everything. Pull out my little extension tube in there, and I'll be oiling up all the little pivot points in here, and I'll move all these the controls back and forth, see where they go into, lubricate everything like right back there. I don't know if you see that. Right where the tip of my finger is, lubricate that up a little bit right there. There's a couple more in there. I can't remember. That's not bad at all. Huh? Is that a broken wire there? Okay, that's broken. Don't know where that goes. Then you got the one down there. You can barely move. Have to lubricate that, and I don't have to track that down, so that's going to be low and high on the temperature. I can see it right here, and I don't see where the cable's at, but I will hunt it down and see what we got. Okay, I will be back in a minute. And I don't know what these wires here are for. Someone had put a radio or something in here in the past. That radio is down there now, but yeah, piece of junk. Like 1970s technology or whatever. Okay, this goes back and forth here. Oh, so this here wire goes to that. I see it now. This wire here goes to that. How it hooks up, I don't know, but I will be finding out shortly. Okay, it goes there. Oh, I see it right there. I see it. I gotta remember, did I pull this off another truck? I might have it in storage, so I will look. And I'll be right back. We'll test the bulb out real quick. And then I'll search to make sure it's only one bulb. So I have the new 1445 bulb going in there. I'm going to apply a dab of dielectric grease onto the bulb. You never know. Might not come out again. Excess wiped off. Okay, let me go over to the headlight switch. Okay, I got the headlight switches on. The dash lights are all bright. Okay, let me put the park lights and let me run over there, see if I can run that up against the ground. Give me a sec. Okay, so where does that go? So we got a little clip right there. Oh, so as soon as I turn the light off, so as soon as I hook it up to ground, there it comes on. So let me find out where that goes. Let me see what we got here for this broken light. I mean, this broken wire in the back that controls the heater, and that is for the cold and heat. So I will find out what I gotta do to fix it. I can probably bend it up with a piece of pair of miniature pliers, stick it through this little hole right there, and adjust it and see where it is, and just put it where warm heat's coming out. And but at the same time, that'll probably put it somewhere on here. It might give it a little bit more option. It got a little warmer. Since winter is coming, I'll probably set it to warmer. And I could probably move this back and forth to just take utilization of everything there. So that's going to be 1/4 inch, I think, 5/16. I have that with me. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, so I got the bulb back in. That's right where the, let me highlight that. Okay, right there. That little black eyelet is right there. That's the bulb right there. Had to fish it in from down below, got that in. Now the other mechanisms back there, like where the heat control valve is, that don't work. The cable was all seized up. So eventually, if he decides, we'll pull that out, put a new one in, and let me show you what it activates. And that's right over here. So I got this where it moves back and forth now. I'm going to put a little lubricant on those riding rails right there after I sand it. This is that same cable that was in there, it was jammed up. I did put some WD-40 penetrant in there. I turned it up like this, and like for a half hour, I let the penetrant oil go down that cable on the inside there. Just drop by drop, let it go down. It did not freeze it up, so I'm figuring it must have. That's what broke that wire. Someone probably tried to jam it up when it seized up 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Okay, back to this unit right here. And again, as we've seen earlier in the video, that when I hooked up the bulb on the grounding side and rubbed it up against some metal parts here, that's when the bulb came on. So these little studs sticking out here and one there, I'm going to go ahead and clean up those mating surfaces there. So when it bolts in here in the back, I'll run some rough sandpaper back there. So when we put the jam nuts, these kind of like little nuts there with a little washer on there, I'll make sure that everything's nice and shiny, so I'm guaranteed a ground. So I'll be back with that. But let's see again. Where's that one cable here? This cable here is jammed up, so I can't. It has to be replaced. Even though I shot it up with some WD-40 and let it soak down through the canal, no. I guess I could probably take the whole thing out and then rip it apart, but it's like for $6, $9. I think you can buy the whole set for $20, 3 cables. It's worth it. Okay, we're back. I ran the sandpaper behind it. Well, I just drew some. It's gone now. I ran the sandpaper behind the mounting surfaces here to make it where the screws. You can see that I put the studs there. I put some anti-seize on each one of them. So we'll slip that back in place. Oh, baby, there he goes. slips right in. Got the nuts in my hand. They're 11/32. The anti-seize is already on there on the stud. Okay. Taking my time, screw it all on there nice and easily. Second one. Over there. That in there. Oh, look what I found. Some change in the tray. Oh, there are a little hole in that. Okay, I got that. I'm going to get the ratchet. Okay, here's the 11/32. Set it to tighten. Baby in place. Nice and good. Not too tight. Just a little bit of snug. That's right. Okay. Okay, wrong direction. Guess you can edit that out. Oh, I just had that. Okay, that's right. Now snugging. There we go. Not too tight. Okay, so obviously at this point here, we want to go ahead and test it. Turn this magnetic light I got off. Let's run over to the other side of the truck, turn the light on. I'm right now currently draining the coolant so I can change out the thermostat. That'll be a whole nother video on how to troubleshoot your cooling system. And turn this light on. Okay. Let's go over here. I don't see no difference right there right now. I'm going to go over here, look out some wires, maybe a ground. See, the parking light on right now. Maybe very dark. Okay, where's that bulb at? The bulb's right there. Oh, the light is on. Yeah. Those lights are illuminated right here. You can see that once I cover everything up. Let me see. Yeah, you can see it right there. I guess I should have put a brighter bulb in there, but I put the OEM color bulb back in there, and that's it. So there you go. One bulb right here in the center illuminates everything there. The problems with the heater control mechanisms here. There's a kit that you can buy to replace all three of those cables. Your hose, which controls the temperature going inside of your cab, which I freed this all up. I'm going to put some gear grease under it called Super Lube, and make wires go back and forth. So if the owner decides he wants to have heat go into the defrost or the engine compartment, here you go right there, and let them know that these all have to be replaced. But I will reinstall everything here so it'll look OEM and just put it to a different temperature. That's it on that unit. I'll put the radio and all that stuff back in for show and tell, and that's it. Okay, so I'm going to install the radio control mount back in there. I'm going to leave that radio I found in there out. It does not have a speaker built up into the dash right there, right? Another F250, 1970, I gave to this person that he can go ahead and take that radio out, which is nice and new. And I have multiples of stashed radios, OEMs, that can go in there. It's just like I got 5 or 6 that are around. Okay, I'm holding the idle a little high myself right now. There you go, babe. She's running good now. Okay, so I'm gonna let it warm up. Show you the gauges. Now notice that this gauge comes up properly with the settings. This one, I should run like 20 minutes for to get it up at idle. When I take it for a ride, I'll be happy with that. Now, in the dark, this the heater light does come on. I just don't like the brightness of it, so I'm going to be tearing that back out and putting a larger size bulb in there for a little bit more illumination. And by the way, there was no glove box light.